The USS Plainview was an American Navy ship that had already disrupted the sleep of the Soviet Union before its launch. It had to face many obstacles in deep and stormy seas where normal combat ships struggle with numerous challenges. This new ship from the Navy in New York not only passed through the waves but literally flew above the water. The intriguing question is, if it was such an advanced ship, then what else did it have? What issues arose that compelled the U.S. Navy to decommission it forever? Welcome back, viewers, to Back in Time videos. This brings us to the discussion of the 1960s, when after that, the Cold War was ongoing between the United States and the Soviet Union. Both countries were engaged in a powerful demonstration of strength with their allies. Everyone was solely focused on this race, determined to do whatever it took to come out on top. To portray oneself as more powerful in front of the world, it was necessary to invent such things. Technologies needed to be adopted that the world had never seen before, which had instilled fear across the world with its performance during World War II. This fear had now been intensified due to several developments by the Soviet Union. The Soviets had achieved such an advanced level of nuclear technology that posed a significant threat. They started making nuclear submarines, which the U.S. Navy couldn't disrupt no matter how much they desired. These submarines could travel at speeds of approximately 40 kilometers per hour underwater. Meanwhile, at that time, the ships of the U.S. Navy were considerably slower compared to them. Not only their speed, but these submarines could dive to depths of up to 350 meters, completely evading the radars of the U.S. Navy. They also had the capability to conceal themselves from the sonar scanning system. It was a threat to the United States that the Soviet submarines could easily track and attack the U.S. Navy ships. And if their combat ships were to engage in a confrontation, the U.S. Navy would face significant challenges. Even if they were detected by radar, the Soviet submarines could still avoid any disruption. Their high-speed capabilities not only made it difficult to catch them, but also because of the advanced underwater guided missiles they possessed at that time. Their speed was also considerably lower compared to the Soviet submarines. The U.S. Navy was facing a challenge with the Soviet Union's submarines. The only solution to tackle them was to build ships that could match or surpass their capabilities. They could move even faster than the Soviet submarines. The officials of the U.S. Navy, who were searching for a solution, had already built something with the help of an Italian engineer named Enrico in 1966. They had developed a boat that was capable of... It could move at a considerable speed using underwater wings. These underwater wings were located beneath the underwater wings board, and when the board gained some speed, the water pressure would lift these wings upwards. The boat's body would be out of the water while only the wings remained in contact with the water. By doing so, it reduced the drag caused by water, allowing the boat to move faster. It is evident that the boat could achieve higher speeds as a result. This design was named hydrofoil. After the invention of hydrofoils in the 1960s and 1970s, there were gradual advancements in this technology. In the 1990s, this technology started being adopted by commercial yards, and I had also applied for it. The U.S. Navy liked this design of hydrofoil, but there was one issue with it. The problem was that these boards could only operate in calm waters, where the water is tranquil. Because in the ocean, where the U.S. Navy needed them, the waves become very dangerous, making it impossible for them to move at high speeds there. That's why the U.S. Navy decided to make some changes in the design of the hydrofoil. The decision was made to flatten the underwater wings completely and position them within the water. This modification helped the boat's body and wings to better handle the waves in water, which it could handle. The only issue with this new design was how to control the wings regardless of the conditions. It had to be moved in such a way that the board's position remained straight at all times. Fortunately, this technology was also developed in the 1960s. USS Nautilus had now realized that Soviet submarines, with this advancement, this design will remain the best for competition. In this condition, the hydrofoil of USS Nautilus will also be able to keep up with the Soviet submarines. In 1970, USS Nautilus introduced the hydrofoil technology, which proved to be a game changer. 4 types of photos had been taken, including the USS Plainview, which weighed 325 tons and was the largest among them. At that time, it was known as the world's largest high-speed hydrofoil ship. It used to operate at a slow speed, similar to other combat ships. However, when it needed to increase its speed, its hydrofoils were lowered using hydraulic jacks. These were 14,000 horsepower engines, which were originally the engines of an F-4 Phantom fighter jet. With the help of this engine and hydrofoil, it could travel at a speed of 91 kilometers per hour. That means it could go 16 kilometers per hour faster than Soviet submarines. Additionally, there was an option to install additional jet engines on the Plainview, which would allow it to reach an astonishing speed of 70 kilometers per hour. It could achieve that speed. In addition to all of these features, a highly advanced automatic control system was also installed in the Plainview. It could control even in 10-foot waves. USS Navy invested a considerable amount of money to have these 4 hydrofoil ships constructed. However, their construction took more time than anticipated, nearly 14 years, and until 1974, when 9074 came along. By the time it was ready, another technology had also emerged, which could track submarines and target them using helicopters. This means that the hydrofoil, which was designed for a specific purpose, could now be achieved through alternative means as well. Therefore, the hydrofoil's purpose was limited to fast patrolling only, and there was little else left for it to accomplish. In addition, the drawbacks of these hydrofoils outweighed their benefits. Firstly, their strength was significantly lower compared to normal combat ships. They couldn't bear much additional weight, which meant they were unable to carry heavy weapons. Due to their high fuel consumption, they were also not suitable for prolonged operations. In addition, it was not cost-effective compared to other alternatives. Overall, the conclusion is that while the experiment with USS Nui proved somewhat successful to a certain extent, there were also several people who were against it. In the pursuit of showcasing their strength to the world, hydrofoil found itself embroiled in controversy. No one wanted USS Nui's majority budget to be wasted on a purpose that could be fulfilled at a much lower cost. But because there was a desire to prove something to the world in Cold War, that's why 6 hydrofoil ships were prepared only for coastal patrolling. They were given the name Pegasus class, referring to hydrofoil. These ships remained in service for 10 years, after which the Soviet Union finally collapsed in 1991. The Cold War came to an end, and along with it, the hydrofoil ships lost their significance. It was decommissioned indefinitely. The ship that used to soar at one time now lies abandoned on the shores of Storia. I hope that you all will also like and share this video of Back in Time. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.